Hello, my art friends. It is the end of the month, beginning of a new one, which means I will be getting my art subscription boxes. SketchBox came in first this month, and I will have all their information linked down below if you're interested. The art on the box is by Amy Barash. This looks to me like the make your own watercolor box. That's what I'm guessing this is, but I don't know for sure. I'm going to go ahead and get out all the materials at once, put them out in a row, and go through them. This is the art using the materials of this month's box, and this artist looks like Kayla Valerio. Very nice. The theme for this month is liquid graphite. Let's go through the items. We have SketchBox Signature Liquid Graphite. Retail price is $8.99. This is a water-soluble graphite that is a unique departure from the traditional graphite pencils. We can actually use this to make thick lines, do all kinds of fun things. Looks like we got some pretty ink. This is gold. Glimmer metallic ink from Hero Arts. If you recall, in our holiday box, we got the silver one. This retail price is $6.99. It's a fast-drying ink and is water-soluble. The custom Faber-Castell matte graphite pencil set. I will link up my video here. I already have these. Well, I have the full set. I quite like them. In this set, we have a 2B, 4B, 10B, 14, and then we have, which looks like just a white pastel. Retail price of those was $14.75. We have a Royal Majestic short handle shader brush, size 6. Retail price is $6.49. What has intrigued me is the end of this. This would be nice to make little scratches and interesting marks in my watercolors. We have the Faber-Castell eraser pencil. Retail price is $3.60. And I have a couple of these. They're very handy to have around. Pacific Arc pencil sharpener. Retail price is $1.10. The surface for this month is the SketchBox Signature Cream Toned Pad. It's 100% cotton. It's a 4x4. Which is nice because we usually get the 4x6s. I've got a ton of those. And it's toned, so that is welcomed. Retail price of this is $10.99. Okay, here's all the goodies. I will be swatching a few of these out quickly for you and getting right into playing with these lovely matte graphite pencils and this pretty gold ink. They showed this in the SketchBox school video. There's a little thing down in here that you have to take out. That gold is very vibrant. It looks yellow in the monitor. It's a very yellow leaning gold. Very nice and thick on this nice cotton paper. Interesting. I'm sure a little bit goes a long way with this. I can probably put this in a palette and just dilute it down and do what I need to with it. I'm interested to see if this will ever dry because it comes out kind of gloopy, you know. There's a lot on there. Let me see if I can catch that. Can you see that? Okay, kind of gloopy. And I wouldn't try to do shading on your paper with this. I would definitely put this in a palette of some sort and then add it to your paper. It was a little hard to add water with and mix to get nice shading effects. So yeah, I would definitely, this is something I would put in a palette, but that's just me. I mean, to each their own. I'm going to let this hang out for a little bit and dry to see what happens to these big bumpy areas of this liquid graphite. I'm very curious to see what will happen if that will ever dry. Be back in a bit. This has thoroughly dried, and I'm happy to report that this liquid graphite, it dried. It dried by the next day, actually. This is like a week later, but it's a very nice textured line now. Pretty interesting. Yeah, I like that a lot. You can do all kinds of things with that. Yeah, I was surprised it dried that nice. All right, great. Let me figure out something to do with all these materials on this cute little toned pad of paper. I was actually going to scrap this project and start over with something completely different, but I thought, no, this is important to show. Just because you make YouTube videos doesn't mean everything you do turns out. And this is one of those projects. So what I was going for here, I had a really neat sconce on my wall that was a dark gold color. Had a lot of neat textures in there, and I thought, ooh, that'd be pretty to do. And I could get some of this pencil work in here and use the liquid graphite to do a lot of shading. It'll work perfect. So that's what I did. This is kind of a small piece of paper, so I knew it was going to be hard anyway. And I thought, I'm going to put that gold down first, and then I'm going to use my pencils to shade on top of it. Get some really nice depth, use the liquid graphite. I would just do some shadowing. I just thought this is going to work great. So yesterday I actually drew it out and put down my gold ink first, thinking when it dried, I was going to be able to do some pencil work on top of it, and that just was not the case. This ink did not let me mark on top of it with pencils at all. So I'm like, okay, that's fine. We'll just not do that. The shadowing with the pencils, we'll do it all with the liquid graphite. And that's not really working either. It's taking forever to dry on top of it, but since I had to add water to it, it's not blending at all. So the ink itself is waterproof, which I should have thought about that, but I didn't. So I can't blend on top of it with a water product at all. But the pencils didn't want to mark on top of the ink either. So I think if I was to redo this, I'd actually use the liquid graphite and the ink at the same time, make different tints, and do the sconce, color it all at once. But it didn't work out that way, and I wanted to show this. I wanted you guys to see that it's not always happy rainbows when you're doing art videos. This project did not turn, I mean, it's cool looking still. You can't tell what it is because I couldn't shade the candles or anything. It's just not working out at all. I mean, it was kind of fun trying to get it to work. It just didn't. Now, the liquid graphite works really nice on this paper. I used it to do some shadowing, but the whole thing just isn't working out, so I'm not going to waste any more time on it. But there's that. Here's a Get SketchBox. It didn't work out for me. I think it was user error. I should have thought about it before. That maybe I really thought the pencils were going to work on top of the ink, but it didn't after it dried. Well, there you go. It's not a bad sketchbox. It just wasn't something that turned out for me. I think individually all these materials are fun and great. I already know that these are good, and I will post a video about these up here. I've had these already, and I work with them a lot. So there's that. These are good. I think the liquid ink, the liquid graphite's pretty neat. Yeah, it just wasn't my day. You'll have that sometimes. All right, guys, thank you for joining me and watching this painful video. I will see you in my next unboxing. Bye.